It was Tuesday, April 23rd, 2002, and Ben was sitting on the couch playing video games like any typical boy his age. And not just any game, but a game he was very fond of, Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask. It was a birthday present from his grandfather, the only member of his family that had gotten him a birthday present. His grandfather also got him a Nintendo 64 and a Nintendo 64 controller so he can play it. It was Ben's favorite thing in the whole world. He played it every day, never using walkthroughs to get through the game. This game made him feel like a true hero because it makes you feel like you're the only one who can save the planet in 3 days, or else the whole planet would be destroyed. By the time our story takes place, he was close to beating the game. In fact, he was at the Stone Tower Temple on the 3rd day, only minutes before the moon would crash. Ben's father walked in the room and said, "Hey Ben, your cousins Lewis and Hallie and I are going to the lake for some fun and maybe even a picnic. Do you want to come along with us?" Ben was astonished. This was the first time his dad had wanted him to go anywhere with him. His parents never paid attention to him, yet he didn't know why. It was always about his younger brother Matt for some reason. He had no friends and didn't know why. He tried so hard to get a friend, but nobody would even talk to him. The only time someone would talk to him is if they wanted to criticize him. He didn't have any mental issues or anything. In fact, he was a very smart kid. He made straight A's in school and had a college level in a few classes. His teachers said at a conference that he was smart enough to get a good scholarship, but his parents toned the offer down. "But Dad," he said, "I'm so close to beating the game. Just give me some more time." Normally his dad would say something like, "Fine by me, we'll just go without you." But this time he said something Ben would never have expected him to say. "Screw the game. Come on, we want to get there before it gets too crowded." What does he mean by before it gets too crowded, he thought. Ben sighed. "Okay, I'll come." So he put down his N64 controller and packed up his stuff. His father and cousins were packing up the car. "Do you have everything?" asked Lewis. Harry replied, Yeah, just be ready." "You really approve of this, Uncle?" "Just get it over with," Ben's dad said. "Afterwards, we'll celebrate with this. Just don't tell your mother," he said. He pulled out a 6-pack of beer and showed it to the boys. They smiled, their Uncle Glenn showing all the teeth he had, and chuckled. Then they went back to packing up the car. They packed some towels and snacks. They packed some ice cream in the 6-pack. Also a cement block with a chain. Who knows what they were going to do with that? Matt came outside. "Can I come to the lake too, Daddy?" he asked. His father smiled and patted his head. "Sorry, sport," he said. "Sorry, sport," he said. "Not this time. Lewis, Haley, and I have some important business to do." Matt frowned and went back inside crying. Ben came outside with his towel and sunglasses. He wore his lucky green shirt and green swim trunks, and which matched his brown hair and brown eyes. His dad started the car and they headed towards the lake. They got there and Ben mostly stayed in the shallow end. He couldn't swim because his parents never paid for swimming lessons, but they did for Matt. Matt was the luckiest kid in the world compared to him. Lewis and Harry beckoned him to come further into the water with them. At this sight, Ben's shoulders and above were still out of the water. They were smiling. He smiled too. "I'm glad we could be friends today," he said. He thought that he was finally accepted into his family. They looked at him. "Oh, we're not your friends, Ben," said Lewis. Hallie agreed. "Yeah, hey, let's play a game called Ben Drowned." They rushed toward him. Ben struggled to get away from them, but he wasn't fast enough. He found his head being pushed downward into the lake. He was running out of air. Ben struggled, but they were much stronger than him. His head popped out of the water once more. He saw his dad by the beach. "Dad, help me," he yelled. But his father was just standing there, smiling and laughing. Ben couldn't believe it. So it is true, he thought. My family doesn't care for me. Nobody does. After that darkness, his spirit rose from his lifeless body, enabling him to see what else was going on. The father took out the six-pack and handed Lewis and Hallie each a can. They drank and drank and drank until not a drop was left. They started laughing and grabbed Ben's body. Lewis took out his pocket knife and handed it to Hallie. "You do it," he said. Hallie took the pocket knife and scourged out Ben's once warm brown eyes. Now nothing was left but blood and darkness. Ben stood there watching with horror. He could feel the pain of Hallie removing his eyes. The father then took Ben's body and chained it to a cement block and cast it into the water. Ben grew angry. "They drowned me. They took my eyes. They will regret this day." They got into the car and went home. Ben's spirit followed. When they got home, they unpacked everything. Matt came walking out of his room. "How is the lake? Where's Ben?" he asked. His father looked at him and said, "Matt, you can have any of Ben's things. He won't be needing them at the moment." Matt was surprised. Finally he could play his brother's N64. Ben would never let him touch it, since it was the only thing he had really enjoyed. Ben heard this and almost lost it when he saw Matt reach for the N64 controller. He can't have that, he thought. Matt took Majora's Mask and turned it on. "This game looks stupid," he said. "It's not stupid, it's the best game ever," Ben yelled. But of course, no one could hear him. Matt looked at the files and saw Ben's file. Well, if he's not coming home, then he won't be needing this. Then Matt erased his file. Ben screeched at the top of his lungs as he watched all of his hard work erased with the touch of a button. He wants to play? Then let's play. Ben absorbed himself into the game and began his revenge. Matt created his own file. It took forever for the game to load. "Although the game's always like this," he said to himself. When the game finally started, he was at the Asteroid Observatory. Link couldn't do anything but look through the telescope, so Matt did that. He looked at the moon and shrieked. That was the most terrifying thing he ever saw, at least by then. He pressed B to get out of the telescope, when all of a sudden he was on the top of the clock tower with the Skull Kid hovering above him. "You're not sure why, but you apparently had a reservation," the game said. Matt was confused. About 15 seconds later, another text box came on. "Go to the lair of the temple's boss?" "Yes." "No," it said. Matt tried to press no, but the game didn't let him. Hesitantly, he chose yes, when the screen faded to white with "Dawn of the New Day," with the subtext 11111111. was Tuesday, April 23rd.